Hello, hello. Happy Monday. And welcome to another Mindful Mondays. It's a pleasure to be with you here on behalf of the Center for Mindfulness. Welcome if you're new. And if you're returning, I'm really glad that you're back. Let's get familiar with the chat box. I just want to check in with you there because today's topic is all about surrender. And it is about letting go. And I'm going to share with you something really specific and a really interesting, I think, perspective about surrender. And before I get into any of that, though, I would love for you to type up in the chat box and let me know what you think of when you hear surrender. So, what is something that comes to mind when you think of surrendering? What does that mean to you? Not being in control, surrender to imperfectionism, giving into the flow, release anxiety, accepting what is. Great. I love all these answers. They're all so different. Keep them coming. When you think of surrendering, does it mean accepting? Does it mean letting go? Good. Somebody wrote letting go. That's, I think, a pretty understandable one. And then in your life, what does surrender look like? Does it look like being complacent or just like succumbing to something, having to let it be? Or does it mean something more active for you? Surrendering, what do you think of in terms of circumstances or in terms of how other people are treating you in your personal life or at work? What are some of the things that you think of? Letting go of control, accepting what is, letting go of what no longer serves you, accept that which you cannot change. Beautiful, everyone. Thanks for sharing. Just seeing if I missed any. Recognizing things that I can't decide or do at the moment and just letting it go from my mind. Set aside, maybe to set aside, that's interesting. Discover, identify other priorities. Sounds like you really thought through this question. So thank you, everyone. Really good. Really good stuff. So in this session, we're going to explore an approach to come to terms with the way things are, whether it's a limitation that's there that needs to be accepted, or an event or a life change or something to let go of. Mindfulness strategy can help give us the courage. So interesting practice that I've discovered that's really helpful for just kind of doing a mental inventory of things is called a fix, leave, accept list. And I think this is a wonderful practical way to start, one that's really tangible and useful because you consider your real life and what's really up for you right now. So you would, and you can do this in your mind, or you're welcome to take out a piece of paper right now and do it. It's most helpful when you actually write it down. And you can do this practice now or later. We'll just spend a few minutes on it. What you would do is you would write down all of the things, okay, all of the categories of things that you're dealing with, maybe some specific scenarios, some challenges or obstacles. Maybe it's your relationship. Okay, so it could be like relationship with my daughter, relationship with another family member, relationship with my spouse, or even more specific, something that transpired within that relationship. This is a challenge, or this is an issue. It could be a thought or a belief that you're working with as well. And if you're struggling to think of things to write down, you can just think of the categories like relationships, family, finances and money, career, purpose, maybe pleasure, play. So once you have a list of however many things you have a list of, what you'll do is right next to them, they're going down, maybe they're like down in a column, or maybe they're line by line, but somewhere right next to them, you're going to write, look at each one, and then write either an F for fix, an L standing for leave it for now, and an A if it's something that can be accepted, needs to be accepted, or should work towards acceptance on that. So fix, leave, accept. You're just going to give a letter to each of those things. There are some things that we can make action, and maybe that is fixable. Maybe it's going to take a lot of work, but that would get an F because it is fixable. It's changeable. There's something that's like leave for now. It's don't even know what to do with that piece right there, right just now. So I'm going to leave it. Or, because maybe there's overwhelm or uncertainty, or you're waiting on some kind of reply from somebody else. You can't do anything in the moment. So you're going to leave that one. It might be fixable. It might not. You're just going to kind of set it there for now. So that's the leave. And then accept. Of course, that means it's at some point something to accept. Or maybe right now can be something to accept. So take another 30 seconds or so to write your list, categorize your list. Okay. You can set it aside for now. Go back to that if you like later. It's an interesting practice that can help organize the mind. One of my teachers, his name was Swami Dayananda, had said that a tranquil mind is an organized mind. If we put things in categories, it can actually help us be more calm and available for knowledge, if things can have a place. So that's a starting point. Now let's talk about that acceptance. Now, is acceptance the same thing as surrender? I think so. Let's try it and do a physical practice right now, okay? So just experiment in your body. You can close your eyes if you want, or keep them open. And then make a fist, or both hands make a fist. So this is tension, this is contraction, this is something you're doing. In this case, you're doing it consciously. In a lot of cases, it's unconscious, but you are doing tension. Then, what if you were just to soften that up a little bit, release the grip a little bit, and then allow your hands to be as they are? Allowing your hands to be as they are, interestingly, is the same as soften. It's the same as relax, same as letting go. You find that if you just allow your hands to be as they are, there is a natural relaxation process. And there still might be some tension there. It's okay. But in a really small way, just letting them be as they are is relaxing, is undoing. Takes off that tension. It's an unwinding, letting go. letting it just be. So, underlying the mindfulness practice in the way that I teach it, is a core principle. And we can maybe call it allowance. And this is beyond tolerating. It's sort of, it's allowing, it may be even accepting. And then on the really evolved, like when we're really, really full of wisdom and in an evolved state of consciousness, this allowance can actually even be a glad acceptance, even if we don't like the thing. So that's difficult to do, but we can start with our body, with the body, the easy, simple way. And it will take us all the way, as this principle can be applied then gradually to mind, to the life. So this principle of allowing, what if you could just allow yourself to be here as you are? Now, this doesn't mean relaxing 100%. It's a spectrum. So your relaxation may be complete at times, and you may be the opposite of relaxed. But you can include whatever that is. So this means to allow whatever is there to be there, including having a hard time relaxing, including that twinge or discomfort, including those tight shoulders. So without trying to even relax those shoulders, like, can you just allow all the sensation that you currently experience to just be as it is? Don't do anything about it. Don't try to correct, even in a subtle way. Just, can you watch it? And let it be as it is. Well, you notice. And perhaps you notice a sensation somewhere in your body. Tightness, relaxedness, warmth, pulsating, fluttering, a jolt. Sensation like sparkling or a radiance, blood flow, itching, numbness. All of those sensations are fine. It doesn't matter what it is. But can you include those sensations in your awareness right now? See if you can find more sensations so that now you're holding two areas of sensation. For example, tightness in shoulders, hunger in belly. Like, can you then just notice both of those at the same time, for example? Don't try to do anything. Don't even try to mentally fix anything. Now open your perception to three sensations. So can you watch and be aware of three different areas of physical, tactile feeling at once? Your finger on the pulse of this area, and this area. Hold them all together. Now, it can be tempting to go, let's take hunger, for instance. Oh, I'm really hungry, and go into the story of that. When's the last time I ate? What am I going to cook for lunch? When am I going to make that, before this or after this? What am I going to do while I'm making that? So there are so many stories that we can do, so many thoughts and ways that we can add on, but strip it all down and just be listening to the language of sensation. That's it. For another 30 seconds or so, try and stay with it. Maybe you can watch it change, move. Maybe it's swirling around. It was there, now it's over here. Can you hold and watch all of that, even as it changes? Don't do anything. Don't try to fix or adjust. If the sensation is happening, just let it happen. And then relax. You can take a deep breath. When we go inward to do mindfulness practice, meditation, then we see things that are keeping us from relaxing. The stress, the worry, the monkey mind, the ruminating. For example, there's many things, but these things get illuminated. All of a sudden, that's what's preventing us from relaxing. We see it. We might be going throughout our whole day doing. And then you sit down or you lay down and suddenly, or say you sit down to practice and it's like you're aware of the mind racing. You maybe weren't aware of it before because you were doing a lot of stuff, going with that momentum, being distracted. Now all of a sudden, you're asking yourself to turn inward and look at what's there, and what's there is the racing mind. And the racing mind has been there all the while. But now you're looking in and now you're aware. So a classic move is to get turned off by that. Stop meditating. But if we're going to be committed, if we're going to transform and actually work through some things, we need to learn to not push those things away or avoid. And you actually can learn to welcome, have this attitude of welcoming it as just part of the reality of your present experience. Not that you like it, not that you condone it or are asking for more of it or even agree with it. And it's not to say you're going to surrender and then just become like a dead fish, just like lifeless or whatever happens. Like just it's not that. It's a very active process of embodying this allowance, and it will transform us. And this is because refusing or just getting up and stopping creates conflict. What we resist will persist. I learned that phrase in my yoga therapy training several years ago, and it stuck with me. What we resist will persist. Because I was in a profound period of resistance. I had a lot of pain, physically and emotionally. And I had to learn how to go in. And so if that's you too, it's not that easy. This sounds simple. It's not that easy. It's sometimes the last thing we want to do. And sometimes we try to go inward and we're not even aware of anything at all. That was my experience too. Little by little, bit by bit. So you show up and you do a little practice. And then you come back at another time, do another little practice. Little by little, this will start to change. So when you can allow things to be as they are, it's more calm. It's more calm. And it's It's happening anyways. So it's about not rejecting that, because that creates more disturbance in the mind. Not trying to change it or fix it all of a sudden. Of course, there are things that we want to do that with, but can we just let things be as they are as well? Let's practice some more. Before we dive into a little more practice, I welcome you to leave a question in the chat box or a comment about your experience or any wisdom that you might want to add. And again, we'll start with the body because this illustrates the principle. We can strengthen it physically and then start to be able to apply it in other areas. And that's, if we're going to go right into, I'm going to have full acceptance of my life situation. I mean, it's a PhD level challenge right there. And I really recommend, even though you've done a lot of work and you may have gotten there, it's an interesting experiment just to work with the body physically. So this teaches us how to allow, starting with the body. You can assume a comfortable position, seated or lying down. This is a lot like that. So far, this is a lot like that serenity prayer, isn't it? Accept the things that I cannot change. It's a necessary skill. And as you settle in, and get comfortable, and get supported, know that your full capacity to resist, reject, act, strive, achieve, overcome, push, make happen, that will all still be here. This is not taking away from that at all. Even your ability to show up and be like a warrior, and you can do all of that still. What this is doing is really cultivating the other side of the coin so that we can have both, we can access both. So as you rest into your position, just know that you'll be able to act. And for now, we'll cultivate some surrender. Become aware of your breathing. Give yourself 3 deep abdominal breaths. Smooth abdominal breaths in and relax out. Good. Then turn your senses on. Have full open perception of the sounds you hear. Nothing to do, just listen to sound. Aware of the sounds that off in the distance. And then gradually become aware of the sounds closer to your body. And feel as though you're relaxing back, open perception. Sounds are coming to you versus you going out to reach them or trying to figure them out or analyze. Moving from reactivity to non reactivity, from external to internal. Be also aware of the perception of touch, the temperature of the air on your skin, the feeling of clothing on your skin, and the feeling of your body supported on your seat or on the ground. Giving in a little to the pull of the earth. Become aware of any other physical feelings that you are aware of. And just welcome them for now. Just to welcome all of it. With a sense of openness, receptivity, and curiosity. Your perception of smell turned on. Taste. And sight, even if your eyes are closed. Jean Klein said, when you come to innocent, unconditioned listening, your body goes spontaneously into deep peace. Turn your attention inward and be aware now of everything that you are aware of with a sense of welcoming. Even if there's difficult feelings or frustration or boredom, you welcome that. And if what you're aware of in your body is painful, focusing on it will amplify the pain. Yeah. So now what you do is you don't have to go right into the heart of it because that's a lot. Go around the pain. So you recognize that the pain is there. And then just like it's a mountain or something, go right to the base, right to the foothills. And just sense around the perimeter where the difficult sensation starts and where it stops. Find the edge. Don't have to go right into the heart of it. And see if you can soften around the edges of the pain. And if that's not helping, soften somewhere else. Your eyes, jaw, hands. Now become aware of your forehead, your eyes, nose, cheeks, ears, the outer architecture of your ears, your scalp, all the way around your head, your inner ears, your brain. Now allow your whole head to be as it is. Move awareness now to your neck. Feel the skin around your neck. Feel inward beneath the skin to the center of your throat. Allow your neck and throat to be as it is. The tops of your shoulders. Your armpits. Your whole chest and upper back. Shoulders and shoulder blades. Allow them to be as they are right now. Just for now. Move down, feel your upper arms, elbows, lower arms, your hands and fingers. The length of your arms, both hands and all 10 fingers. Allow them to be as they are. Just for a moment. And notice what happens when you do that. Now bring attention to your abdomen and torso, lungs, ribs, mid-back, abdomen, low back, your whole torso. And feel your whole torso just as it is. Notice where your attention is drawn. Move down to your pelvis, your hips and pelvis. Sense from the inside, beneath your skin. And allow hips and pelvis to be just as it is. And notice where your attention is naturally drawn. Move your attention into your upper legs, beneath the surface of your skin. Upper legs, knees, lower legs. Sense ankles, feet, both feet, and all the toes at once. Your legs, feet, and toes. Allow them to be as they are. Your toes, feet, and legs as they are. Your hips allowed to be as they are right now. Your torso. Your whole torso, just as it is. Your fingers and the hands. The length of both arms, just as they are. Neck and head, just as it is. Your whole body. Consider allowing your whole body to be as it is in this moment. And when you do that, a few things can happen. Either your whole body gets to relax, soften, unwind some tension and holding, and that is the result of allowing. The body begins to surrender. Or when you do that, you may notice all of the things that get in the way of that, like pain. And that's just illuminating what's there that gets in the way a little bit of that letting go. And it's understandable. Understandable. Accepting the pain might be the hardest thing. So there's a specific way to work with that. I just want you to recognize that if, when I say, let it be as it is, you may relax or you may not. You may experience all the things that stand in the way of your complete relaxation. That's just illuminating what's there. That's okay. So can you let that be there? Can that be allowed as the reality of the present moment as well? Simply allow whatever is there to be there. Please continue for another couple of minutes. You can stay on the physical level, or you can explore your mind for more. Continue to unfold and allow whatever you discover. It's hard work. And if you get stuck, you can simply go back to the physical. Allow your body to go along with gravity. Allow your body to be pulled towards the earth. Allow your body to be and rest where it is. And remember the tightening and the resisting, or the even wanting to pick up and lift up and get out of this, is a doing. And what you're doing, okay, right now is undoing. You can give yourself a couple of deeper breaths. And really congratulate yourself if you stayed with this. I think the way that I described it sounds simple, and that was my hope, but it's far from it. So real good job. Really, really good. And I appreciate that you're here practicing. Like I said, I know what it's like with the resistance, with the pain. And it's counterintuitive, but this principle is the thing that helped me resolve it ultimately. So I hope to help you more with that. Right now I have a course actually where I'm teaching this, and I'm going into detail with working with pain specifically, as well as looking at how to use your practice and personalize it for what's going on in your life. There's a lot more information that I would love to share with you about that, but I'm just going to drop the link into the chat box if you wanted to take a look at this program, because it's available until Thursday. So if you want to go deeper than what we're able to do here, then I encourage you to join. There it is. It's laurenziegler.com/yoga nidra, the sleep meditation technique that really, really goes deep into this, and would love to have you. You can also reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. Okay. Well, have a wonderful rest of your week.